Hey, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Hey, I got some free compost ideas for you today. So if you like to make compost, but sometimes you find yourself running short of materials to put into your compost bin, I have some ideas for you today. It's getting that time of year where the garden is slowing down. If you live anywhere kind of north of me in zone 8, 7, 6 and on, maybe you're taking a winter break. That's no reason to stop gardening. You just got to garden in a different way. Think about building soil, building compost, building fertility for next year's garden. And you can do that really easily. There's no shortage of materials for compost, no matter where you live. If you live in the country, there's all kinds of resources for you. And a lot of us who live in cities or in suburbia, we think, wow, if we only lived in the country, our friends who have animals could keep us in manure, in hay, things like that. Well, if you live in suburbia, you have no excuse either. There's no shortage of materials. In fact, I found a really good example today. Let me show it to you. There we go. Rescued from the curb. Pretty giant pumpkin. Now, we could eat this pumpkin. We could use it for, making pumpkin pie or cooking it up, but nobody here likes pumpkin. It was going to the trash. Neighbors put it out. So instead of eating it as pumpkin pie, we'll eat it as fresh vegetables next year. We're going to compost this guy. Now all of this stuff right here, these seeds, we could eat those seeds, roast them up, but we don't like that either. So we're going to put the seeds away. I don't want the seeds ending up in my compost. Some of them are invariably going to get there, but I don't want tons of pumpkins coming up in my garden if I don't have to. So we're going to scoop a lot of these seeds out and then chop this guy up into bits and pieces. That's a lot of meat. That's a lot of nitrogen for our compost. Now some of these pumpkin seeds might sprout here in this ground, but this is a high traffic area, so they can just sprout, do their thing, get walked over, and then if we have any plants come up that we don't want, we'll compost them. But all this, that's the internals from this pumpkin and a couple of others. We're going to compost this too, but we're going to compost it anaerobically. Whew, that's pretty rich. There's what we got going. This is an anaerobic brew. It's compost tea. You can learn about this in my composting videos. And yeah, so this is nasty stuff, but it's a good way to take all the stuff you don't want to put in your regular compost pile and get the bacteria to work on it so they can extract all the good nutrients and stuff. You can see it bubbling there as it ferments away. So we're going to put all our seeds in here. Y'all, there's some nastiness going on down here, but that will be good stuff for the garden. All right, so I like to chop things up if I can to give more surface area for the bacteria to go to work on these pumpkins and anything large that you put in the compost pile. And I'm using a kukuri. This one was made in Nepal. I've got the Kami who made it. His signature is on there. And yeah, this is an authentic kukuri made from a Mercedes-Benz truck spring, suspension spring. So real nice tool. I'm going to chop these up now. Normally I would use this old machete that I keep out by the compost bin to chop things up, but with a pumpkin like that, this dull blade just doesn't really go through it as well when it's large. But once you get these small chunks, it's a lot easier to dice them up with the machete because I got a longer reach. So nice to have a couple of tools lying around. Okay, so what I like to do next is make sure that we turn this in as good as we can. the critters are going to come, and especially the opossums, and they're going to have a feast. The rats will show up, they'll eat a lot of this stuff. I don't worry about that. They're going to eat some of this, they're going to leave their deposits here, and everything's happy in the world. They're just trying to scratch out a life on this earth just like we are. So I don't mind them in here. Outside, that's where they belong. So we'll just turn some of this in now.
What you doing, Phoebe?
Pumpkin dog. When you turn your compost, always water it in. Get some water in there. The life in the soil needs oxygen. It needs water, just like you and I. And so every chance you get, when you turn it or put some new stuff in there and mix it around, you want to water it in real well.
Wait, we just passed some up.
Is it heavy?
A little bit. Wet.
That's the kind of leaves we're looking for. Deciduous leaves. But they're not bagged up. Ooh, nice and lightweight. That's perfect. Alright, so we actually found some leaves, even though it's a little bit early to be getting leaves. A lot of leaves on the ground right now. Folks are just mowing them up for right now, but later in the fall we expect to find a whole bunch of leaves. So we got a few bags. It's a good start. We're gonna head on home. What do we get?
4 bags.
Alright, 4 bags.
2 of them are really moist.
And we want to avoid grass clippings as much as possible, and sometimes, like in this one, sometimes that's not possible, but there's some good leaves on the top. And the reason we avoid grass clippings is because you never know what people are spraying on their lawn, and we don't want to import that into our garden. But the leaves, the trees draw up their nutrients from deep in the ground, and usually safe. Good job. There's another place that you can look, and that is behind the grocery store. Every now and then you'll find at the dumpster some expired produce. Look at that. Compost.
Look at all that stuff
Let's not talk
we
like
can
that.
put into our
Toilet
compost.
paper. Hey man, that's like gold. A few weeks ago. Right here, that's free compost.
Pretty good.
Including the box. Alright, well that's good. Let's go.
June's Kitchen.
I'd like to go there someday. They opened up just in time for Corona Jam.
Corona Chan.
So one of the places you can always find nitrogen sources and carbon sources together is a dumpster. Now most people think that's kind of gross to go in a dumpster and pull out stuff that's been thrown away. But hey, if it's getting thrown out into a landfill, it might as well go to my house and get in my compost pile, because then we can use it. So if you got a grocery store that throws out its past date produce, that's a perfect place to look for compost materials. Get you a grabber, one of those long sticks or a poker or something if you don't want to go into the dumpster yourself. I don't recommend that. I know there's some folks who do, but nah, that's not for me. Today we scored a box full of strawberries, apples, some lettuce, and all that's perfect additions to the compost pile. So don't be afraid to go check behind your local grocery store. So we got a lot of good stuff here. But the box is also able to be composted. A lot of people say, well, what about all the ink that's on there? The problem with boxes like this is they're usually covered in ink. Well, it's really not a problem in modern days. Most inks are soy-based. It's been that way for a long time. They're going to break down just fine. What I would avoid is cardboard that has tape, lots of tape on it, or cardboard that's got a glossy surface. Sometimes that gloss can actually be a plastic laminate. and it's not worth it. But a box like this, straight into the compost bin. Now, it's true, some people think that going to dumpster diving is beneath them. And all I have to say is, come on, man. Are you so prideful that you can't go recycle some stuff? I mean, who cares what people think if they see you looking at a dumpster? They don't know you, and if they do, so what? Who cares? I mean, you living to please people, or you want to make good compost. Make use of resources. They're just throwing it away. It's going to go to a landfill. You can use that and bring in some good material to make good compost for your garden and be a responsible citizen all at the same time. That's kind of questionable right there. Pink lady apples. Strawberries. Grapes. More strawberries. Now, adding all that fresh, sweet fruit into my compost pile is most certainly going to attract critters. It will attract the rats that live in between my neighbor's house and my house. There's a colony that lives over there. It will attract probably opossums. They love this stuff. But to minimize them carrying it all off, I don't mind if they have a little bit, but I'm going to turn it all in. You need a compost fork. It's nice to have. You don't have to have one, but it sure is nice. And you want one that has the tines that are spread pretty far apart so you can get in there and get easily into coarse material. This is not a very good compost fork. This is good for leaves. It's good for spreading finished compost, but it's not good for turning compost. You need something like this. Another creative material for your compost pile, especially if you lack carbon and you can't find leaves, maybe you have access to these fiber egg type cartons. These are wonderful additions. You can get them. You can have a local restaurant save them for you. My son saved me up an 8-foot tall stack of these and brought them over. So I've got tons of these and I just throw them in. Especially when I add a lot of nitrogen, this is a good way to balance with carbon. So I'll just put a layer of these right on top and water them in real well. Alright, so there we have several good ideas on how you can find free stuff for your compost bin. There's no excuse for us who want to compost. We have all this stuff all around us all the time, and it's just out there for the taking. It's going to go to a landfill. It might as well go to your compost bin. So free leaves. Leaves make great carbon. Grass clippings, kind of sketch. You got to use your wisdom on that and know what your neighbors are putting on their lawn. Free produce. You got a grocery store nearby. They probably have a dumpster and they get rid of stuff that doesn't sell. Go get that stuff. Put it in your garden. Put it in your compost. Feed the worms and the life in your garden. And all of that is free. Hey, thanks for joining us on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. We had a great time today making this video and hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe to our channel if you have not already. Like us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, and we will see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye-bye.